welcome back to the Success Blueprint. We have an amazing friend of mine on here. We have Matt Chick. Matt is a serial entrepreneur and real estate powerhouse and has established himself as a dynamic leader in the industry since launching his career in 2017. With an impressive track record of nearly 700 closed deals, he's built a formidable team of top producing agents who share his vision for excellence. Specializing in both residential and investment properties, Matt has successfully executed over 100 property flips. Even now, his passion is there, as nothing brings him more joy than his family of five. Matt, thanks for coming on.
That's an old bio, baby. That's old. That's got to be old, dude.
Is that old?
Yeah, I think we're at 152 flips now. We've done close to 1,500 transactions.
Wow.
So let's go into that. So that was one thing that you and I started talking to from a good friend, Kevin Kaufman, is your flips. So we're going to
I mean, nobody likes him, but yeah, good friend.
We're going to have a lot of people watching this and wanting to know the inside and interior of investments. And not too many people do it at a high level, and you're doing it at one of the highest levels that I've seen. So with those flips, tell me about those. How do you find them? What do you look for, and how do you make it work?
Yeah, I mean, it all came from a core philosophy of like I believe every agent should be multidimensional. I think if you're just playing in the retail space, that you're just an old doggy if that's all you're doing, right? It's when I got in the business, I wanted to monetize everything. Every appointment I go on, I want to find a way to make money because it blesses my family, it blesses the people in our organization. So I just wanted to make money at a high level. So that's kind of where it came from. It evolved into the flip game and the wholesales and novations. It evolved into the investment space. But, I had an old business partner named Jeremy. He used to say retail real estate was like working for tips, right? We service clients and we get paid at the end, which is like, it's pretty accurate if you think about it. Now we get to, they're really big tips. Like, don't get me wrong. They're great tips. And I wanted a more control over our income, and the flip game does that, right? It's, we can do lead gen. Lead gen, consists of phone calls, marketing. You spend money on marketing. At our height, we were spending about $300,000 a year in marketing to find the flips. So it's the same game as the retail game. It's just when the opportunities come, you monetize those opportunities. So I tell everybody that the lead gen levers are the same: spheres, social media, buy leads, open houses, agent referrals. Those are our 5 lead gen levers for our real estate team. It's our 5 lead gen levers for our investment business. What we do is we do 20 to 25 to 30 connects a day, and then whatever happens in those connects, we're able to monetize it. So it's not like when you say, how do you find those deals? It's nothing different than what a normal agent would do on a daily basis. It's just when the deal comes up, we're able to actually do it because we're multidimensional. Where most agents will push it to the side, they'll think that's out of their scope. They won't do the necessary steps. And then we bought a lot of leads.
Matt, do you keep some of those as rentals? And what
I have 7 rentals, and I hate them all. Listen, dude, I'm gonna be real freaking straightforward, bro. I don't like residential rentals. Like, if you could go, multiple doors, you need freaking 20 of them to make any money. Like, I got 7. I think my positive cash flow on 7's $1,800 a month. Like, what does that do for us?
So what do you do? Multifamily? What do you do for investments? Or are you just
right now? Passive income, we're doing absolutely nothing unless we can do a creative finance. If we could do like a subject to or, seller carry, if we could do something like that, we'll do the deal. I've been so focused on active income. I got my kicked in 2022, lost $500,000 flipping homes. So we're just, the last 2-3 years have been just getting back into the flow of things, building the team. So I'm just such an active income play right now that the only passive income stuff I'm doing is if it's like a no-brainer. Other than that, like, the big goal will be commercial, multiple units. It'll be 20 doors at a time. It won't be single family homes. I see single family homes more of a tax benefit than a cash flow benefit.
So let's go back. So you had that dinger. You took one on the chin. you don't have to dive into that, but how do you bounce back from that? How do you see it? How do you learn from it? How do you grow? How do you crawl out of that?
Well, we were flipping 4 or 5 homes at kind of consistently. We did, I think at the height, our biggest year flipping, we did right around 48 to 50 homes, right? So made a ton of money. Every house was printing capital. It was like making 40 to 60 grand a flip. We couldn't do any wrong. But it was like we consistently always had 4 or 5 at a time, right? So it was just a machine at that point. I had a bright idea that I was going to go raise a bunch of capital. So I got with one of my business partners and we raised $8.5 million. And then I said, okay, let's go buy a bunch of houses. So I went from having, I think at the time I had a total of 6 or 7. I had a couple on the market, some in production. And I bought 24 houses in like 60 days.
Wow.
So went crazy. Market did this little thing, blip, blip, in 2022 when it kind of corrected with interest rates and stuff. I had 21 projects going, ended up letting go of multiple GCs. I had GCs like doing demos on houses and then not going back and fixing them. So I went through a huge construction piece. It took me 18 months to get out of those 21 projects. Over that 18 months is how I lost 500 grand. So it was the key things that it was mismanagement of the projects. I trusted people. I wasn't walking them. I thought I was better than I was because we had such success from like 2017 to 21, even the beginning of 22, had such success. I thought I knew what I was doing. And really the market was making me right on a lot of stuff. That COVID years, the market made me right on a lot of stuff that I probably should have lost money sooner to make me better. But it was the best money I ever lost, dude. I'm blessed that we had it to lose. I had one investor. So all my money's private capital. It was all on handshakes. I had no documents. I had nothing signed with anybody. And said to go bad, I started calling everybody. I'm like, hey, I just want to let you know it's going sideways. I'll do everything I can to protect you. I'll do everything I can to pay you back, but this is going to be nasty. And I don't know. My main money guy at the time, his name's Kyle Reardon, still partner in the business today. He was with me through the whole thing, and he goes, I'll take 100% of the loss. At that time, I probably had $2 or $3 million of his money out in the street. He goes, how bad is it going to be? I said somewhere between 400,000 and 600,000. He said, I'll take 100% of the loss and we'll figure out how I get it back. And I said, I can't let you do that. And he goes, no, it's not a choice. So he actually incurred the loss. And then we've been paying him back for the last few years. I paid him back in 24 months. So the next 24 months from 22 to 24, I didn't take a paycheck on anything that we did in the investment space. All of it went back to him. I probably still owe him a little bit of money, but we're still moving and shaking. So, but that's how I did it, is I just did exactly what I said I would do. And to this day, he would give me anything that I needed. One of my greatest friends to this day, the stand-up guy. For him to do that, it saved my ass. It probably would have bankrupted me personally. It would have hurt me financially for sure. And everybody got out. Everybody got their money back. Everybody's good. I say it's a loss, bro, but what it really is like we had made a couple $1 million, the year prior at flipping. So it's really just an adjustment on the P&L. The reason it's a loss is because we pulled all that money off the table because we thought we were studs, right? We didn't have $500,000 in the bank. If I would have been smart and taken small salary as we were building this company, it would be different. But we paid out it all because we thought we were just invincible. So not invincible.
I think
that's
everyone
too much ego, but you understand.
That time frame, I think everyone did though, right? Yeah. I mean, that time frame, everyone was just making money no matter what you did. You could start with a bad investment and still make money.
Yeah.
So I was just going to add something that I see on that is you talk about the market corrected, and sometimes it corrects us too. And we have to make sure that where are we balanced? Are you going to be balanced if the market corrects you too?
Yeah.
And I like that.
Well, dude, I'm smarter now. I don't take as much risk now. I still flip. Still flipping. I think I got 2 projects going right now. We've done probably 10 or 12 this year. So like next year, we're going to do 24 to 36 flips. It's just taken me a minute to be conservative again, readjust what's important, have standards, right? I have standards around. I'm not flipping a house if I can't make 50 grand. I don't care. I'd rather wholesale it and make 10. You know what I'm saying? Than not take something to the market that's got some margin in it. Like our last one, we put up $82,000 and we made 85. 100% cash on cash return. Like that's a no-brainer. So those are the deals we're looking for. The no-brainers, you're like, I bought it right. If it goes bad, I'm still making 40. If it goes great, I'm making 100.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. So Not to change the subject too much, but you got to tell me about football this year. I know you still
we had
coach.
A rough start. Yeah. Coach high school football. So I coached the offensive line for ALA Queen Creek. We got put in the 6A Premier League this year. Don't know if we were quite ready for that. First 5 games were bloodbaths. We got, 2 or 3 of them we probably should have won. We probably could have beat Chandler, Red Mountain. We lost those games. First game out of the gate was Hamilton. Hamilton this year is a freaking powerhouse, man. They made us look stupid. It was like Buckeyes D5 football, youth football playing a high school team. It was disgusting. It was like 68-0, dude. It was just, it was an ass whooping, dude. But we had second round of the playoffs this week, baby. We play Perry Friday night. So we'll have to go take it to them, and hopefully we could go win a 6A championship. So we went into the 6A Open. We lost first round there, which kicks us back to the 6A conference. So we can still make a run for the 6A conference championship. So
that's
nice.
Speculating, hopefully we go all the way, which would be a blessing. But I love it, dude.
Where can we watch that?
Oh man, I don't even know. It's on like YouTube, or there's like certain channels that it's on. I'll send it to you.
Please do.
Yeah, definitely do. That's pretty cool.
The blast. Both my kids got hurt this year.
Oh, really? So they're not playing right now, or?
My senior snapped his leg on a pull. He did he was pulling to a linebacker. Guy went to tackle the running back, flipped around, snapped his leg, dislocated his ankle. Man, his senior year, took him out. Week 2, man, took him out. But he got an offer from University of New Mexico. Super excited for him to go out there and play football for the Lobos, which is a D1 program. So for him to go get that's phenomenal, dude. Yeah,
that's
awesome.
Amazing. Yeah, especially on an injury, right? And that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Stand-up guys, that tells you a lot about that staff, that they're willing to keep an offer from a kid that got hurt second game in. So for them, for them to keep that offer, it's awesome. Some coaches could have pulled it.
Yeah, that is great.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I'm excited for that.
So
me too.
Matt, you've increased your sales in a struggling real estate market. Struggling. It depends of the way that you look at it. What would you say has pushed your team to be able to improve on that? What changes have you been making? I mean, we talk a little bit, not as much as we used to, but you are making changes and you're making adjustments. Tell me what that looks like. Tell me how those are going for you.
Probably a couple years ago, I got really laser beam focused on what I wanted out of a real estate team, right? Obviously, I had to stay in personal production to go make the income. But as we started to build again, we got very, very laser beam focused on activity over results. What are our daily standards? And then we hold those standards, right? So there's no secret sauce. All we care about is what are you doing on a daily basis? The money will come. Have you ever seen Remember the Titans, where he goes, I run the split V. It's like Novocaine. It always works. Just give it time. I feel like that's what our standards are. It always works. Just give it time. Because everybody's coming from different fields, different careers. If you just run the playbook the way it's supposed to be run, you'll get it. Activity over results. So our 4 standards are this: 20 connects a day. If you have no business, it should be 30 to 40 connects a day. You got to be at 90% of everything that we put on. So team trainings, role plays, client appreciation events, be at 90% of what we put on. Your tasks have to be completed in your system every day. So every day our back end staff goes whose tasks are completed, whose aren't, and then we put it out in the group chat. And the last one is kind of cheeky, kind of fun. It's don't be an asshole. But what that kind of means is, like, you have to have a spirit of contribution. In the beginning, people are going to help you, but when you have the answer to know something that, if you know something, you have to share it. This isn't a team where you don't get to help people and you just take. Everybody has to have a community and have that spirit of, I want to help people. Those are our 4 standards, right? The top 3 are the ones that matter, right? Make sure your tasks are done every day. Make sure you got your 20 connects every day, right? And then show up, plug in, be around, because that's what matters. Those 3 things matter more than anything, man. And then if it's not working, then it's skill set. Then you got to work on skill set. But we work on that role play trainings, right? Every day we work on it consistently to make sure that these guys are getting where they need to go.
So with those standards, I was just going to ask, do you see the bigger percentage of your team is actually following those, or is there still where you see where a lot of them are not?
No, they don't really have a choice anymore, man. Like I have, if you're consistently missing the standard, it's a coaching conversation. So the other thing I did is I started coaching the agents that come in. I coach them for 6 weeks. So every week they're reporting their number. Every day they report their numbers on our morning huddle. So you have to give us your numbers on the morning huddle. So we'll go like contacts, contracts, and then like a grateful or a win. So every day, those are the three things you're reporting. How many contacts you get yesterday? Did you get any contracts so we can celebrate it? And then what are you grateful for? So Monday through Friday, that's what we do. And then once a week, I meet with them, and now we're going over their activities. What have you been working on? Are you doing your 2 open houses a week? And this is where the accountability comes in. They have to come in and report to me. And then within the first 6 weeks, if I see that you're not doing it, it's just hard conversations. It's like you said you wanted this. Are we on path? Or are we not? Now, I have let people go, not because they're not holding the standards, but because they're not holding the standards, and they're also like they're not holding the standard, and they're also like not vibing, right? So would I keep someone that's missing some standards? Maybe they're trying to transition out of a job, but that looks like they're working and they're trying hard and they're vibing with the team. I would keep that individual. But if you're not vibing and you're hurting the community and you're not holding the standards, I'll let you go. I've let a couple go in the last 2 weeks, but that's typically what we're looking for is that activity. If you got the activity, I'll keep you as long as you can.
I love the
That's
contribution because that creates that synergy and that creates that grind. And we've had some meetings where everybody comes and it kind of dilutes it a little bit. And then we've had some meetings where the people who want to contribute show up and it's a smaller group. And it's that synergy that you can almost feel, that electrical current that you can almost feel. So I like that contribution, and always coming from contribution. I feel like that's when we get some of our deepest, best meetings is when somebody wants to, and like what you said, don't be a taker. Don't just sit there and try to, absorb and I like that a lot.
Yeah. One of my favorite things, man, is our office is a giant warehouse. It has a mezzanine in it. Me and my business partners sit up top. It's kind of our area. Everybody else is down in the bullpen. We got some couches, TVs, and we got some stand-up desks, right? One of my biggest things is like I'll hear someone ask a question, and then someone will literally like jump up and go help them. How do I do something on the MLS where I don't even have to go down there and I get to hear our experienced guys and gals go help someone out? Or like, dude, I haven't done an open house in 5 years, but I got people running them every week. So when my top agent at my open houses is coaching someone up on open houses, I freaking love it, dude. I love it. It's like that's cool.
I'm sure your culture is the same, and if it is, let me know. When somebody comes onto our team, I explain to them we have similar standards as what you have. Almost to a T, and they're like, "Oh yeah, okay." And I'm like, "Well, here's the deal: if you don't, the team will know, and you'll feel it." And they're like, "Well, how will I feel it?" And I'm like, "You'll just feel it." The office staff gets, a little worn, and I'm like, I use the football analogy. I say, we'll go to the 50-yard line. You got to come to the 50-yard line. We'll go to the 50-yard line. You have to come there at least so that we can work together. But if we're going past, and if we're going back to your 30 and your 20 constantly, that's going to wear us out, and you're going to feel it real quick. Yeah. And it's funny how it gradually goes, and then they see their way out before we can even get them to, because they just are. They just
the ecosystem breeds pressure, right? The first thing I tell everybody is we're not a family. Like we're like a high performance sports team, right? Everybody's here to perform, and we have camaraderie, love, right? Some people are suffering and not doing well. Some people are killing it and they're MVPs, right? So like it's but you're here to perform, and then once you perform, it's going to be a lot more fun. But once you perform, go home to your family and be with them. I'm not your dad. I'm not your brother. I'm nobody. I'm your coach, right? So like that's what I'm here to do, is coach you. And with that, I'm going to be super direct with you, and I'm going to hold you accountable. And I tell everybody, I'm like, listen, dude, just so you know, I care enough to be the in your life that's going to tell you what's up. I care enough. Oh, was that a bad one?
No, that's. You get. What was the quota? You're under the quota.
Yeah, okay.
It comes with the territory.
Like I tell people that. I'm like, I'm the guy that will absolutely tell you what's up. 100%, because I wish people in my life would have told me what's up when I was not doing what I was supposed to be doing.
I love that. How with your team and your growth, what's some of the changes that you've seen and changes that you've had to make and had to adapt?
Changes. I mean, the energy is just better. I'll tell you that. Like, not just allowing people to hang out anymore and actually having standards. Like, that's a big one. The energy is different. Everybody knows they're here to perform. Everybody knows that they're here to work. Everybody knows that I care and I want them to win. Like I feel like there's a legit like camaraderie around that. I also know that people know that I got their back. When I started coaching the agents, that's when they really were like, dang, this is cool, because like now I can get into the nitty gritty of what's stopping them from achieving their results. Right. So like that's been really good and powerful. For me, dude, I had to learn how to be consistent. Like, consistency wasn't my game before probably 2 or 3 years ago. Like, I was the guy that like I thrive in chaos, where chaos kills results, right? I was the one that was, buying businesses and trying different things and had seven income levels, like all that crap, dude. I prescribed all that because I thought the chaos, the energy I was feeling from the chaos was going to get me the result. So I had to learn how to be really consistent in the boring. Like, every day I show up, I do the same thing. My calendar is booked. I show up, I perform. I had to get rid of all the white space on my calendar. I have people that book me appointments all day long just so I can be the best version of myself. Because if I have space, I'm not the guy that's going to go, oh, I could fill it with this, or I could fill it with that. I'm going to go, oh, I can jump online and shop for 15 minutes. I could go to the cigar bar and have a cigar. I could put golf in here. Like, I'm going to go mess around. So like, for me, it's like we jam pack my day. Like, my day's nuts, back to back all day long, every day. Like, I picked up 6, 7 days a week. As I was coaching, I had to work more to make sure we didn't lose the results that we were getting with growth. So I'm literally working Saturday and Sundays, been doing that for the last 4 months as the football schedule picked up, right? So it's just my commitment to building is what people get to see. So when the leader's committed, then everybody else gets more committed, right? So it's like, how are we showing up as a leader? Because that will determine how our people show up, right? So it's like, I'm constantly on the path of being the best version of myself so my people can be the best version of themselves. The other thing I would tell you is, when I started coaching, like one-on-one coaching heavy, I've always coached agents on my team for the last year, but not like this. It holds me accountable to holding my standards in my life. Because how am I going to sit in a coaching call talking about someone not holding their standards if I'm not willing to hold them in my life, right?
True.
So it actually blessed me. Coaching other people blessed me maybe more than I was blessing others. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
How hard was that change or that transformation for you to make that?
I mean, everything's hard. Patterns are all hard, dude. I'm 43 years old. I've eaten like 90% of my life, right? Like, it's it's patterns are hard, man. Food was probably my biggest struggle. That's probably the thing I'm most excited about, getting after, right? I used to have to pray myself through a gas station so I didn't buy a pack of donuts, dude. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you don't know what that's like, we're not on the same level, bro. So
I
it's
know
like,
what you're like.
yeah, it's like it's interrupting the patterns that I know don't serve me anymore. It's very hard, man, and it's hard for a lot of people. Very few people have just been born without something that they've had to work through, right? Like, that just showed up and operated, and they were the best at what they've always done. And like, there's a bunch of people out there like that, but it's very rare to come across. Most people fall into the old patterns that they set for themselves. They fall into the stories that we tell themselves. We fall into our emotions. We let our emotions dictate what we do on a daily basis. So learning how to handle all that, it's always hard, but it's worth it. I mean, if you can, being able to operate on a daily basis, regardless of how you feel and the emotions you feel around it. There's many a days that I'm not excited to be here, but you better believe it. When I walk in that door, I'm like, let's freaking go.
Yeah.
Right. I get jacked.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe I don't know, 2 nights ago, I slept 4 hours. So I was tired, but when I got here, better freaking believe, let's flip that switch. Let's go, baby. It's time to work, So it's like doing things regardless of how I feel about doing them. And like, I'm going to go off here, but like, my entire life, I was the rebel that kept going. If I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. If I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. If I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. So I had this thought process in my head: if I didn't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. Well, you have to do it. Like, if I want to build a company, if I want to have the revenue that I want, I have to do the things that I don't want to do on a daily basis. That's the boring stuff that I kept saying I didn't want to do. So when I surrendered to that, everything became easier. And the other thing we're doing is like, I create a lot of tension in my life because I lived through tension. Growing up was tension. Everything's tension. Like, so if I didn't feel like I was fighting something, I didn't feel like I was alive. So by learning how to surrender to the process and letting it become easy, you now operate in this like flow state of like, this isn't actually very hard. I don't let my emotions control me. I show up, I do the same thing every day. And guess what? I get freaking results from it. It's not sexy.
Amazing.
It's not amazing. It doesn't keep me feeling alive, but you know what? The result's pretty damn cool. And then I get to go do some amazing things with those results, right? So it's like, it's the process of surrendering. It's taking tension out of your life and just get really good at doing the stuff that makes results.
And having, I'm sure, some other agents raise their standards and run with you and want to run with you instead of you dragging them. Yeah. I'm sure that feels a lot better. So when you only get 4 hours of sleep and you show up and you can walk through the door and there's, 4 other people ready there to run with you.
Yeah. 100%, man.
That feels awesome.
Yeah. Well, you're the team, you're a team. Yeah, for sure. It's legit, dude.
So your one-on-ones, you mentioned that's been probably one of the biggest changes in your team, and they know that you care about them. They know you've got their back. But what is that one-on-one? What do those one-on-ones look like? I mean, I know obviously there's probably some numbers involved, but what is that? Is there kind of a pattern you use in those, or is that just talking to them?
Yeah, first thing I do, hey, what were your contacts last week? Did you hit your open house goal? I talk all about the results, right? They have to fill out a form before they get with me, so I'll kind of rate where they're at, look at emotions, look at relationships, look at finances, like where are you at in your life with this stuff. So I kind of have them rate some stuff. And then I specifically ask them what they want to work on today to make sure that we're not missing nothing, right? Some of them stay professional the whole time. Some of them go into the personal. Some go into why we don't want to do the things we don't want to do. So it becomes philosophical. It becomes, pattern interrupts. It becomes holding standards in our life, right? When you take care of the personal life, the professional life will follow. So it's like, how can I be the best human possible that I want to create, right? Intentionally create. Living with intention is one of the greatest things that we could ever do for ourselves. 98% of the people in the world just exist. We just exist. We show up every day and we exist.
It's all reactive.
So yeah, it's about teaching people to be intentional with their time, letting them know that they actually own it, rather than them just having to exist in life, right? So it's a lot of it can go very personal depending on how willing they are to open up.
Yeah. So you're meeting them on their level essentially.
100%.
Awesome. That's awesome.
When you said we focus on activities and not results, that's something that we've been talking about a lot this week, right? So up here in Idaho, we're starting to get into the cold months. It's going to be cold December, January, February, starts warming again in March, right? And so those are known as just the colder months, like you guys have the hot months, and where business seems to be a little bit more vulnerable. That being said, we set these goals, right, for the year. And what Jason and I have been talking to the team is you have this number and this income that you want to make, but then we forget about all these activities and we want to focus on the numbers, 9 and 10, but we don't want to do anything from 0 to 8. And then we wonder why 9 and 10 don't happen.
Right.
Because we don't even have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so anyway, what's some of these activities that, I know you have your 20 connects, your different things. What do you encourage agents to do as far as open houses and door knocking and, outside of the bullpen that you have?
So it's 5 Legion levers. Sphere, you take your sphere, you break it up over 90 days, you reach out to them once a quarter, and then you send them an email twice a month, right? So your normal 36 touch with your sphere. Social media, you need to be posting a minimum of once a day, but you should be doing 3 to 6 times a day. The thought process around that is reality TV with commercials, just like Alex Shepleck says, right? So 3 to 6 times a day, post both, and then have a call to action every 7th or 8th post. Leads, we do by leads. We spend money on leads. So Leads you could categorize as phone calls as well. So cancels, expired is a big one for us. Buyer leads from lenders, big one for us. YLOPO leads, big one for us. All those are going to be great. Either that, or you could do the neighborhood search free home equity report like Dustin Runyon talks about. That's been a game changer for him. Open houses, if you're going to do it properly, a minimum of 2 a week. But level 10 open houses, that means we're calling the neighborhood, at least 200 people. We're door knocking at least 50 doors before the open house. And then the last one is agent referrals. So I try to talk to a minimum of 5 to 10 agents a day, letting them know we're looking for a property. And then you just put that on your calendar. You time block it, and then you show up and do the work, right? So I tell everybody Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday from 9:30 to 12, you should be on the phone working just like everybody else, right? And then run your open houses Thursday, Friday evenings, 3 to 7, or Saturday and Sundays, whenever you can get them in. Minimum of 2-hour open house. Get there an hour before, knock doors before, right? Your sphere kind of takes care of yourself. Your social media should take care of itself as you're doing all the activity. Make sure you're posting about it.
I love that.
You know, it's not overly complicated.
How many years total have you been in the business?
2017, I got my license, started a team 2018. I've had 3 iterations of a real estate team because I'm chaotic.
What got
Not
you
anymore.
Not anymore. Done.
Not anymore. What got you
anymore.
into real estate?
My wife threatening to leave me. I was in the car business. I was managing 4 dealerships. I had over 60 employees. I was working all the time. My daughter was getting ready to be born. And she was like, hey, I've raised 2 kids without you. At this time, my sons were like 4 or 5 or 6, maybe. You know, I wasn't. I put more value on providing than I did for being around. So, you know, I was making 6 figures in the car business, but it was at a cost. You know, 6 days a week, 12 to 15 hours a day, missed all the birthdays, missed all the stuff. So she was like, hey, you know, if I got to do it without you, I'm going to do it without you. She says she didn't say that, but that's how I processed it, you know? And then, so I ended up leaving and getting into real estate.
Awesome. That's awesome.
I had a buddy that was in real estate, a guy named by the name of Jed. He's the one I kind of learned everything from. He was my first business partner with a company called Valorum Real Estate. We just didn't see eye to eye on how it should run. So, but he honestly, dude, he got me into it. I owe him a lot, you know, even though we don't talk anymore. It is what it is, but that dude taught me a lot about real estate. A stud, he knows it, and taught me a lot about the game, showed me the investment space, showed me the retail space. A very smart, educated human that knows real estate at a high level. So, you know, he kind of got me into it. I worked some of his clients in the beginning. I did 40 units my first year. 5 or 6 of them were his clients. When he would go out of town, he was like, hey, if you can get them under contract, I'll pay you. Every time he would go out of town, he traveled like a bunch that year. Every time he went out of town, I'd put his clients under contract because I knew I needed to get paid. So that helped me out quite a bit. Probably 5, 6, 7 clients that year was his. And then I wholesaled like 15 deals that year with a guy named Scott Bauer. So just kind of, my first year was a grind, dude. I said 40 units, but I should have made a hell of a lot more money because they were all split deals because I was taking anything I could get, dude.
With the 8 years that you've been doing this, what is the biggest setback you've had? Was that just a couple of years ago, or if you had other, you know, hits on the chin that you had to rebound from?
Dude, it's so funny. It's just the journey is the journey, right? Like I started Valorum, that took off. I ended up having like 30 agents. It started going well. Went over to KW, split with Jed, got into business with Jeremy. Impact Real Estate took off. We ended up getting to 50 agents. We had a money management problem with that. We were making like $1.5 million in revenue, but we spent it all thinking we were really cool with a full-time videographer, overhead $50,000 a month. So we didn't make any money. Flipped a ton of homes, made a bunch of money flipping homes. Like it's just been a ride. Here's one thing I'll tell you, like, I thought I was being intentional about what I was creating, and I don't know if I was actually ever intentional about creating any of it. I've always been, you know, Dustin said this to me right now. He goes, you've relied on talent your entire life, so you just show up and it just happens. So like the last 2 or 3 years is probably when I've been the most intentional about what I'm creating and not just relying on talent. I'm preparing. Like, so I think I won't take anything away what we've built before,
Right.
but it might have been on talent, right? And this time it's being intentional. Like, we know we're going to 10 markets. We know that we're flipping 30 to 60 homes a year. We know what we're doing. We know the activity that's going to take us there. We know the partnerships that we need to get there. Like, it's way more intentional, thought out, and planned on what we're creating right now.
What's funny is what you're talking about is something I've also experienced with coaching with Dustin is when you're talking about, your projects on these flips, and you weren't following up with the contractors, and you were, expecting them to report it back to you. And, I've talked to Dustin about different things, and he's kind of like, well, what do you expect? And really what it comes down to is we often when like structure and systems are not your strong suit, you get a little lax on different things and you take your eye off the ball that fast. Yep. And so I'm not a baseball fan, but I do know that you have to keep your eye on the ball at all times, or you'll never get that connection. And
100%.
And so it's when you say that, it's fascinating that it's the same thing that kind of goes through my head of you took your eye off the ball, whether it was a project, that I was doing that I thought was managed in a certain way or different things that way. And I'm like, man, this sucked. And then it's like, well, you took your eye off the ball. Like you weren't doing your part. You weren't giving yourself 100%. And so would you, and he talks about that too. What's your lead gen? How would you rate it on 1 to 10? Can't give it a 7. And I'm like, I don't know, a 6. And he's like, well, there you go. Your business is a 6.
So good. So I would tell you, partnering with Marshall has been a big deal because he doesn't necessarily enjoy or love coaching agents and stuff, and I do. And I enjoy recruiting. I enjoy coaching agents, so I get to stay in my lane. He does 100% of our personal production, all my deals, all his deals. That's what keeps so he really makes us all the money right now until the business that we're creating can take it over. So it's been good to have a partner that's willing to just stay in his lane. There's always been a power struggle because everybody wants to be the guy, right? And I don't really care about being the guy. I just want to be the one coaching and training and mentoring people because that's my passion. I feel like that's why God put me on this earth, right? So for us to be in our lanes and just run our lane, it's been very liberating. I've never had that before, so I don't want to be in competition with the person that I'm partnered with. And I wasn't really in competition with Jeremy. I don't want that to come out wrong. We had our lanes. But I don't, it's just good to have your lane and run your freaking lane. The other thing I would say is Dustin saved my life, bro. Like, coaching with that guy changed my world forever.
Yeah.
I owe him everything.
Me as well, too. Yeah. And what's funny is it's not these huge drastic things. It's just the little micro changes.
Yeah. He was the dude that talked to me the way I needed to be talked to. Right. I've done thousands of hours of counseling and coaching and from traumas and all that stuff. Dustin was the first one that when he spoke to me, just clicked, man. Like, I understood it. And that was awesome. Like, understanding myself more, just understanding how to combat this chaos of Matt Chick. So that was the best part. Personal development was the best part. And he's a stud.
So Matt, this is the Success Blueprint podcast. This is definitely going to be directed to agents. What would you say you would consider your success blueprint, or that an agent watching this, what's the advice that you could give them?
Know what your lead gen levers are. Set standards, activity standards around those lead gen levers. Okay. They could be whatever, but know your standard that you're going to set. Increase it by 10 to 15% because you're probably shooting small. And then every day, do it. Every day. I don't care. Like, if you're not making any money, you should be working 7 days a week. Whatever you think it's going to take, it will require more of you. Whatever you think it's going to take, it will require more of you. Set your standards and then increase them. And then do not stop. Figure out how to push through the hard, deal with the emotions that come with it. All of that, this is a personal development journey. You are going to be tested. This market's not easy, but it's, but you can still win in it, So I would just say, if you're, just getting started, work like you've never worked before. You just started a business, work like you've never worked before. If you don't like where your income's at, check your activity. That's it. And it's that simple. Work your face off for years until you earn the right to not work your face off, and then be super smart with your money.
Well,
I still pay myself $7,500 a month. My salary is $7,500 a month. I live on that at home. People think I'm nuts. And I'm like, I've always kept my overhead small. But when I was getting my ass kicked, guess what? I had money in the bank to be able to handle it. Keep your overhead small. I paid myself $5,000 a month for the first 5 years. I lived on $60,000 of income. So
Wow.
that's awesome.
just be smart.
I love your focus on just personal development. I think that's so
have to.
important. I mean, I think people can't grow their business past what their development is, right? And so if you're not growing yourself, there's no way your business is going to grow.
Well, the way I've always seen it is like 18-year-old you was capable of this. 21-year-old you was capable of this. Both those I was a bag. 25-year-old you was, can do this. 30-year-old you could do this. 35-year-old you, 40-year-old, right? Depending on where you're at, like personal development is happening regardless if you know it's happening. It might be tanking your life or it might be getting better. But every year that you have another set of things that you know, experiences, everything, growth, like all that you're getting as you're getting older. The question is it making you better? Or is it making you worse, or is it keeping you the same? And that's where you have to focus, is if you're not intentionally getting better so you're capable of doing more, then what are you really doing? You're just existing. God has a big life plan for everybody. The question is, are we going to meet God's expectations or not?
Love it.
That is super powerful, man. The personal development is happening no matter what. I mean, are you getting better or are you getting worse?
So true.
My favorite saying, I've said it about 147 times on this podcast, is only dead fish go with the flow. So if you think that you're just going to kind of skate by and stay neutral, there is no neutral. You're going backwards. And
100%.
So, well, man, thank you so much. I know that you have some things you have to get done, and I don't want to hold you from that.
Appreciate you.
And
thanks, guys.
I want to bring you back on. It's awesome, and I appreciate your friendship. So Thanksgiving comes up, and on our team, I encourage our agents to do gratitude text. And when we're able to meet with you and I'm able to be with you, I don't think you realize how much you impact me, or the things that, like even today, I have so many things highlighted and numbered that you inspire me. I appreciate you, and I consider you an amazing friend. And
Same.
You're one of the ones that doesn't need a lot of work, but when I call you, we pick up and we talk, and I feel like you're one of those guys that push me. So thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's genuine for me. I care about you guys. Love you to death. If you ever need anything, hit me up. I'm here for you. Seriously.
You got it, man. Thank you.
We appreciate you, man.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye.